What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of NAS100 analysis today. And we're going to be picking up from where we left off. So today's been a little bit quiet in the markets, okay? But however, it's been straightforward to trade. So hopefully you guys grab some pips and some points, as we do. And first things first, what I would like to say is so all you new guys that have stumbled across the channel for the very first time, okay, I personally believe, in my humblest of opinion, that you are going to find the content that I'm about to share with you today super useful. So it only makes sense for you to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like as we move through the video, okay? So with all of that covered, my awesome human beings from all around the world, we're going to get straight into it, right? So on the video that I did, right, and that was last week Tuesday. So last week Tuesday I did a video, right, where I talked about where price was and my assumption that price was going to break down and possibly head down to this zone over here. Okay, so let's go into the hour so we can have a much better view as to what I said and what has actually transpired. Okay, so first off, the first thing that I said is if you get a close under this zone over here, you could potentially think about taking sales, right? It's not going to give you big pips. Well, I thought it was going to come all the way down here, as a matter of fact. That's what I actually thought it was going to come down to this level. But however, he gave us a little bit, so we took a little bit here. If you jumped in, I did, right? So I jumped in around this level. I took a little bit of that, right? And then I jumped out quick, swift. Then obviously on the Friday, literally I jumped in, but I jumped in at a silly spot, so I started selling here again, right? And then price moved up and then took me out. Fine, it happens. And then in the early hours of Sunday morning, I then put in a sell at this level right here, right here. And then it came all the way down here. I was triggered out by a trading stop, and now it's come back into this zone again, right? So it's now back in the zone, and now I need to figure out what exactly I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. So the first thing that I'm going to do right now is we're going to get rid of these, right? Because they're now invalid. The levels are still important, but they're now invalid, right? So what day was this? This was Tuesday's high. So this was the Tuesday high. We don't need that anymore because we're in a fresh week now, right? The structure is still holding in terms of the overall structure of what market is doing. So let me just zoom in on the day so you get a much better look. So this is the structure that I'm talking about, right? Which is a rising flag. So that is still holding. Okay, so that is still holding. So that's a good sign. So we're just going to go back into the hourly again one more time, just to try to figure out what could possibly happen from tomorrow, because market is about to close. It's going to be the end of this session very soon, and then once that ends, then literally we're going to have to think about how we plan to navigate tomorrow. So this is my theory as to how I will plan to navigate tomorrow. Okay, so first thing is that we have the low of this week locked in, right? Not the low of this week, sorry, the low of today is locked in. That's this point right here. And then we have the high of this area that too is locked in, and that was locked in the early hours of this morning, right? So that was when I actually jumped in with the sell, and I did quite well. I got all of that, which is cool, but I wanted all of that, and that didn't happen. Such is life, right? So these are the levels that we want to keep an eye on, okay, right? And what am I looking for? Well, what I'm looking for basically is a break below this, either this level over here or above this level over here, because I know this is the zone, right? So this could be a range, and I could be right and I could be wrong, depending on if you want to take the risk or not. You could decide, okay, you want to ride it out because this is the range, right? Okay, now what I do not know, because obviously today is Monday and we still got 4 more days in front of us before this whole week is concluded, is the high of the week. So the high of the week and the low of the week, that I don't know. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they're gonna be, right? But that is what I will be trying to figure out. All right. So once I can see the high of the week and the high of the low, the high of the week and the low of the week, that will help me plan as to how I'm going to obviously navigate. And what I'm talking about in regards to the high of the week and the low of the week is my actual setup, the setup that I'm looking for to get in that will give me the highest probability of collecting the most amount of pips. I got that one over here, so I got all of that, okay? Then I took this one over here that gave me all of that, right? Because I could see this was in the range, and this was a guess, right? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. This over here, me taking the sell up here, that was a guess. That wasn't any major planning. What I went with, the vibe that I went with was, okay, I have a feeling that this is a range. So this is a little bit of a slaughterhouse right now, okay, right? And I have a feeling that if it pulls away from this level, which is up here, so this was my my analysis in the early hours of this morning. So I was like, look, if it pulls away from this level right here, which was the high that was set, right, I'm going to take this one. And this was dead on 12 midnight, right? So dead on 12 midnight, I took that one, was sat in it all day. Then it broke that. So then literally I brought in my trailing stop, and I think it was somewhere around here that the trading stop kind of took me out, because I really went in terms of how tight I made the stop. I kind of wish I had just obviously set my TP down here, but it didn't happen, right? So just to go back in regards to what I was saying earlier in terms of what I'm expecting market to do, right? So let me just draw little boxes in this zone to give you an idea, okay? Now, when it breaks this zone here, when it breaks this zone, it needs to break it in a particular kind of way, right? In a very, very specific way, it needs to break it. So for example, I want to see consolidation up here, or I want to see consolidation down here, right? As a matter of fact, it's lower. I want to see a break below this level. As a matter of fact, below this level, this is the level that I want. Right, so I want to see a clear break below this level, and then I want to see consolidation, right? And the kind of consolidations that I'm looking for is either a range, right? So either this type of move, a very clear specific range, right? Or I'll be looking for this type of move, right? So let me just draw it over here, which is a rising flag, right? So some of you guys should be familiar with that. It's just a rising flag, kind of like the bigger structure that I showed you earlier on the day. So something like this, okay? Something like that. Or this same thing, but in the reverse, so it's going downwards, right? So that is what I want to see. So up here, right, up here, if it goes above here, right, and I'm thinking the price is going to break down, I want to see this, right? If I think price is going to break down, and if I think price is going to break down once it goes through here and fly down some more, I want to see this, right? If I see the opposite of this down here, or I see the opposite of this up here, then I know to look for a buy signal, right? But that's only once a high of the high of the day has been broken, in terms of the high and low of today, Monday, has been broken. If I get a range, then I want to see where that range is sitting, right? So if the range is sitting somewhere down here above this level over here, then I'll be confident or comfortable with the idea that it's going to break down, right? Same thing if I see the range up here, right? I'll be comfortable it's going to break down. But if I see the range above this high, then I'll be comfortable with the idea that it's going to be pushing up, right? So these are the moves that I'm looking for. These are the moves I'm looking for. Whether I get them or not, that depends, okay? And also, this whole thing that we're looking at could just be a long week's worth of ranging and consolidation, right? At which point we would then just need to identify the key areas, which would be this location over here and this location over here, this location for the sells and this location for the buys, right? So that is the kind of vibe that I'm going with in regards to how I plan to navigate, especially when it comes to tomorrow, right? So if I'm looking for a position tomorrow, that is what I will be looking for. Whether I get it or not, that is just obviously is how long's a piece of string, right? So let me go into the day briefly, and let's just have a look to see why I would want to make certain moves. So let me get rid of these because we don't need that anymore. Let's get rid of that as well, so we don't need that also. Let's get rid of this, so we don't need that also. And the little concept that I came up with when I did that a few weeks ago, right, give or take, it looks like it's kind of panning out. Strange, but in a strange way, but it is kind of panning out, which was this, right? So another way that obviously you can use to determine if you want to take short positions or not, right? Yeah, okay. This one is not set in stone. The one that I just recommended is a lot stronger than this one I'm about to show you, but it just depends on your style and your lot size and your risk and all the rest of it, okay? Is you can literally wait for price to cross the trend of all the lows. So for example, if we just did it like, if I just did this drawing like this, right? So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to widen it a bit. Widen it some more. That's one way you could do it. I wouldn't do it like that, but if you wanted to, you could do it like that if you wanted to, right? So that is something like this. So this here is a trend line, and what you're waiting for is you're waiting to see a break under it, right? A break under it. Now that break under it, it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just something that you would have put there just to tell yourself, okay, if it breaks under it, you're going to make a move, okay, right? And then you could take that and see what happens. But if that is the move that you're going to go with, right, then I would say incorporate the two ideas that I've talked about, which is the Monday's, today's low and today's high. Add those in there as well and see if you get a close below that. And if you do, then at least you know you got it, right? And why I emphasize on keeping an eye on the highs and the lows of the day is if you look at these candles over here, okay, and you look at these candles going up right here, okay, these are all daily candles. These are all daily candles, right? So to keep it simple and smooth, right, we're just going to pick a nice little area. We're going to zoom in on it. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by keeping an eye on the highs and the lows of the day, right? So we're just going to go with this one over here. So this candle over here, right? So let me just choose a level. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. Right? And then we're going to make this, let's just say we're going to make this, red, and we're going to make this really fat, a nice fat line, right? And then we're going to do the same thing down here, right? Now, why I focus on the highs and the lows of the days, that keep an eye on the highs and the lows of the day, is if you get it right, if you actually get it right. So say for example, that day happened, okay, we missed it, this is the next day, right? So we can see the high and the low of that day, right? And price has done what it's done, okay? And we've looked at it and we're like, okay, cool. Price is currently sitting below, so price is currently sitting in terms of this overall body of this candle is sitting below the high of the previous day, all right? So what you could do if you wanted to is you could put a sell anywhere down here, okay, and catch as many as possible with your trailing stop, right? That is important. You're going to need that, all right, okay? You could do the same thing over here, all right? Or say, for example, you took the opposite direction. You said, okay, cool, it's going to go up. And then it went up a little bit. You didn't really get that many pips. Or, unfortunately, okay, which can happen, it came all the way down and shook you out. Fine. But on the following day, this is what you got. This is what you got. This is what you got. So you got, okay, so say, for example, on the following day, you waited until 12 a.m. You saw where this was at. You saw these two bullish candles, and you said to yourself, you know what, you're going to take a trade. So you take the buy, say somewhere around here somewhere. You would have gotten all of that, okay, right? You go into the early hours of the following day, okay, market opens at this level. blasts all the way up, okay, so you actually could have grabbed something if you wanted to, right? Then it comes all the way back down just underneath, okay, and then the following day it basically just did the same thing again, which is you just said to yourself, okay, I'm going to wait to see if it closes above. If it closes above, I'm going to put in a play, and then I'm going to ride it all the way up. And then that's exactly what you got. And then the following day, and so on and so forth. And if you look, it follows a very specific pattern. Okay, it's a pattern that obviously you can capitalize on and use to your own advantage. So let me just go back briefly into an hour, just to see how this overall situation would look like in an hour. Okay, I don't know if I've explained it as well as I have kind of envisioned it in my mind, right? So we're just going to just show it in this type of situation over here. Okay, so on an hour, this is how it would look like for you. Okay, so the first day you took it, right? You got caught in a bit of a low situation. Say your stop was decent, right? And then you got this amount of pips. You could have held it, or it could have gone against you. Either way, it came down, right? So you just waited. You're just gonna wait, you know, just chill, be relaxed, take it easy, okay? Then it comes all the way back up again. Then it blasts through it, okay? Or it's just blasted through it. So you take this one, and then you hold your stop down here. That would have given you all of this, right? That would have given you all of this. All the way up here, that would have been yours, right? And then it done it again over here. So you would have waited for it to cross, taking it from here, and then all of that would have been yours. And then it done it again over here, okay? So chances are you probably would have taken it up here somewhere, right? Give or take, depending on how you saw it. And then that would have given you all of that, right? Then it done it again over here. And then you could have taken that all the way up here. Okay, and that is in line with the overall structure of what market is currently doing. Okay, so you always have a pretty good idea as to what market is doing. And you know, if it comes down to this zone over here, game over. Game over. It's closed below a low, so literally chances are it's going to be going down. And literally that is one of the simplest way to break it down to you. But it's always easier to show you in this format, i.e. in hindsight. But in actual reality of actually doing it, it's a whole different ball game. And that's something that you're going to have to learn and practice and understand. Because I know showing this to you in this type of format, it seems really easy. Yeah, I would have taken the play over here. Then yeah, it would have gone there. Then yeah, it would have gone here. Then it would have gone there. Yeah, no, but that's not how it goes. Come on, we all in the game. We all know how it goes, right? We know that. Sometimes all of this that I've just said right now, it doesn't happen like that at all, okay? And bearing in mind, I chose a really good example to show you. So, but you want to keep an eye on the daily highs and the daily lows, and in conjunction with the overall structure of what market is doing, market directions, chart patterns, etc. That will help to give you a really good idea as to the overall direction of what market actually intends to do, right? So with all of that covered, my awesome, beautiful people from all around the world, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Make sure you smash that on your way out. Make sure you drop us a little like. Make sure you hit the notification button. Drop me a comment. Say something. Hello. Hi. How's it going? How's your day? You know, like, just drop some bars in the comment area. I want to hear what you guys got to say. And most importantly, like, you know, I want to be dropping likes and hearts on people's comments. So yeah, so I definitely want to see you guys doing that. So with all of that covered, right, I'm going to let you go. Have an awesome evening. Collect some major pips and some major points tomorrow, right? And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be very, very, very soon. So for now, this is Pips and Points signing out.